The line production folks, they have to, there's a logbook up in the cafeteria. And um, as soon as a new sheet comes out, you got to get for the next month, because they only put them out like 3 months ahead or something like that. And you have to be there like on the first, and for a certain day to guarantee you get your day, you have to be like one of the first four.
built.
How about now?
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Anyone hear us now?
I clicked the little mic.
Yes.
It was not clicked. It still had a line through it. We're good.
Oh, sorry.
Yay!
My bad.
I'm sorry, guys. It's been a day.
She was in the office today. So all of her people were in the office today. And she has to feed them breakfast and lunch
And
and
people
keep them entertained.
all day.
How did your entertainments go over?
It was okay.
Okay.
So I make from work, I make my team come into the office 3 days a quarter. I scheduled poorly and had them come in today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, which means that today I spent the entire day in the office with all 15 of my team and booked it to get home in time to change, to be here. So yeah, it's good times. Yay. Like you, I was hopeful that with 27 last week, we'd have a pretty good turnout, but that's all right. We got this and we
I
will.
know our Senechal's not going to be here. He has been moving his sister, I believe.
Yes.
And he is low on sleep and exhausted. We said, go to bed.
Sometimes family comes first.
Well,
I say sometimes. I mean, all the time.
We were helping him. That was quite a production.
yeah. Was it today?
Yes. Well, they were moving it in today. It was a 30-footer, a 15, and a whatever a pull behind you thing is.
Mary's?
3 different U-Hauls.
Oh, good grief.
And they packed it all up in Lawton. They moved it here.
I'm starting the process.
With all that rain, too.
Building 2 storage units. Started.
Really?
All the way in the back?
Get up here.
All the way in the back? Really?
Get up here.
You can hear her either way.
What are you trying to say?
I don't want to have to repeat myself.
I don't want to have to yell.
Repeat myself.
All right, Jax, you have the list, so you get to drive.
Oh, yes, well, I had a busy day as well. Mondays tend to be busy at work. Gee whiz. So welcome to the June Populace, the Barony of North Keep. Welcome to those of you online. June, man. Adventures time.
Lots of events.
Adventures time. Yeah, adventures. I think I made a word.
Okay.
Leave me alone. I haven't drank it all today, I
That's
swear.
our adventures.
It's just me when I
Start.
when I
Can you feel the love?
I have been derailed. All right, so early in the month, Weezy for Baronial was a great event. Had a good time. Our own Damon Xanthus was elevated to the chivalry. Also, Godric Delamar, a good friend of mine, was also elevated.
Yeah.
There's Alexander, welcome aboard. Also, we had Crown Tournament. We have new heirs. Their Royal Highnesses Crepin and Christiana have taken the reins as our heirs. Taking the reins. They're next in line to take the reins.
There you go.
And last weekend, we had Cornet tourney. We have new Sanguine Highnesses, one of our local heroes, Macaulay Morrison and Katerina Giovanni, won Cornet. It was an amazing weekend for North Keep. Sorry. It was an amazing weekend for fighters from North Keep. We had 7 or 8 from Bruna, Damon, Alexandre, Rolf. Ren is still ours technically.
You already counted her once.
Oh, did I? Okay. Anyway, 3 of the 4 finalists, semifinalists, were from North Keep. One of them made this. One of them won the finals. One of them made the finals. Good on you. You had a great day, Bob. I told you
When we
the weekend before, or was it last fighter practice? You were this close. You were actually this much too close. I really thought you'd gotten rocked and were unsteady on your feet after all that happened. That's why everybody was concerned. I'm sure you know that by now. But anyway, congrats to you. It was a great day. I mean, after that last crown that you fought in, Crepin in the face. Was it Crepin that you got in the face? Yeah.
It was
yes, it was His Highness. That's what he said.
And everybody saw that. It was great. Also, Damon Xanthus, a newly elevated knight, also made the semifinals. So great day for North Keep and North Keep's fighters. Anything we want to talk about from the weekend? Anybody, guys? Anything from Cornet or this week?
She got a thistle.
Yeah?
Yeah, so did you.
Yeah, you guys got thistles for
Weaving. and
weaving.
then it's a-
Oh, okay. By board. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Oh gosh. Okay. So July. This coming weekend, of course, is a holiday, Independence Day. So there's nothing going on that weekend except for family stuff of
And
various kinds.
Thomas is having a housewarming. that
Thomas
he's
DeGroy is
invited
having a housewarming at his new
the
house.
Barony too. The event is in the Baronial group on Facebook.
The following weekend is Kingdom Collegium down in just east of San Antonio. Not going there.
It's a long way away.
It's a long way. San Antonio is a long way. The following weekend is Roundtable, which is now virtual.
Not near as far.
Hmm?
It's not near as far.
Not near as far.
No, the drive is
I mean, from
considerably shorter.
From the great room to the office in the front, you know. And then the following weekend is either the first or second week of Pensic War. I don't know which, but both their majesties and their highnesses are going. We're not going. I've had my time at Pensic.
Oh, hey, I could go to Pensic to burn that vacation.
You could go to Pensic and burn the weeks. You're not going to Pensic. You got stuff. You got plenty to do at the house.
It's hot there. I'm not going.
Not the house.
No, at Pensic, it's hot.
Well, it can be, yeah. So that's last month and this coming month. There are some things that we're wanting to do in the next few months. I need to start looking at, I have some possibilities for our Janata and Ensign attorneys for this year. And is it cut and thrust as well, right? Is that right?
No, we did cut and thrust at Castle.
Okay, yeah, okay, sorry, yeah, I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. 2 options I've thought of. One is getting with the people that run our fighter practice site and see if it's available on a Saturday. That way we've got air conditioning. I've already talked to Will. If it works out, he can bring his grill and we can cook up brats and burgers and and have everybody bring some chips and a side or something, or a side. And we'll just have a big old potluck type thing and a couple of tournaments. At least the parking and bathrooms will be closer than last year. Huh. That was, I wish I'd gone and looked at the site first, or I would have found something else. But yeah, we made it work.
We have one working bathroom.
Well, no, and it's close. But whereas the other one was like 50 yards away from the pavilion that we were at. I have listed hometown projects. So things that we can work on the next month to 6 weeks is not quite as busy, although the schedule would say otherwise. But as far as what we're going, where we're going and what we're doing, I have the pennant project. I want to get that moving.
Which project?
The pennants that are being made.
That Cicely's making the pennants for to tie onto our list field that we've been talking about since we stepped up.
We have an update on that, if we wanted.
Okay.
But it's not happening here in North Keep. It's only happening in Wildwood. And I need North Keep to buy into it too.
So we don't want the update.
I want all of us, not just Wildwood, to have pennants.
Well, no, we had an update. We were practicing with the paint. And we were having trouble with it bleeding. That's why you don't have stuff yet.
Okay?
It bled really.
Alexander, you got your hand up?
Yeah, we had a whole ANS night about that a couple months ago.
Mhm.
Everybody that was there did it.
Mhm.
I don't know where I was for that ANS night. But I haven't seen the pennants from it.
I still have mine in Izzy's because they were never collected before Castellan.
Okay?
I have mine.
Yeah, I just hung on to mine. I didn't know if, since they didn't get collected before Castellan, I didn't know if we were supposed to just keep them or.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you for bringing that to my attention. We will do a better job of that. Yay! So we do have some pennants. We need a lot more. There's lots of people in North Keep that don't have pennants yet.
I have some blanks at the house.
We do have some blanks. Apparently there's been some issues with some of the paint bleeding, so.
Oh, really? Mm.
Yes, there's a problem if you're using dollar store paint. Quite frankly, that is the first paint that we use. And I don't know if any of the ones that were painted at the ANS night were done with any of the dollar store paint. But if they are, when they get out in the water, or in the rain, they just run.
Water-based paint?
So usually when I paint fabric like that, you can either buy some fabric medium or you can just use regular acrylic paint.
And it was supposed to be an acrylic paint. It was set with irons. We did some testing after it was pointed out. And I used my just regular acrylic paint that I had gotten years ago at Hobby Lobby. It worked fine. But the stuff that we had used in that class and that she had painted for me with the dollar store paint, it
Ran.
literally was gone. I put it in the tub and
Start over. Great.
5
Yeah.
minutes, it was a blue pennant.
Okay. So is that pen still usable? Or is it?
No,
No,
it's a
it's
blue
dead.
pennant.
Oh, it's blue now? Okay.
But I do think I will talk to her. I have scheduled to talk to her tomorrow.
Yeah.
I will ask her because I know she was diligently working on those.
Because if we have to ANS budget some paint, we can do it.
Hey,
Watered down house paint.
yeah, and we have donated acrylic paint.
Okay.
Yeah, the Barony should still have, and by the Barony, probably your parents, still have a tub that has all the paint, the acrylics that we use to paint the pavilion.
Ah,
Along with fabric medium
And raw-
that we
along with
added
some fabric
because
medium.
it's
For that? Mhm.
So
Okay.
there should be a lot of, there's some.
It's
I
just all the
wouldn't bet
primary.
Stuff.
anything either, so, but yeah, they're mostly just like the basic.
basic heroic colors.
Basically, all the colors. North Cape is what we have.
Cool, that's what we need.
But
I also have a bucket of acrylic
but they're
paint that
like
we can,
they're
yeah,
like
yours are the
like
giant
gallons,
bottles. Yeah.
Right, so that's what worked for that, and it helped.
perfect.
Okay.
Through lots of rain.
Lots of rain.
Lots of rain.
I also have a working prototype for the new design. Well, an adaptation of the old design for the list fields that we can make them stand a little straighter. It takes work to rework one. It may be easier just to start with a fresh piece of wood instead of using the old piece of wood and modifying it. Use a whole new piece. Well, actually, that's kind of what it. Never mind. Anyway, but my plan is to go from 12 posts to 30.
Okay.
So that there's less stress on each section, because there's so much weight in between each post that it pulls them together. If we go, and 30 was just a number I picked because it was a decently improved round number. 20 didn't seem enough of improvement, and 40 is too many.
75 is right out.
75 is right out.
At that point, it may be just easier to set up stops and just knock out and do 30 or 40 instead of taking time to break down a few and having things that are in different age groups.
Anyway, so I'll be looking for some weekends and some people to come over and.
I volunteered out.
Okay.
It's my shocked face.
I'm trying to figure out.
It's the other way.
Helium hand continues.
Yep.
Shot face. I said it's the other way.
No, that was Castleton weekend.
We have submitted the paperwork for Winter Kingdom dates, so have not yet heard from the calendar deputy about which of the 3 dates we had to submit. But we should have that soon, so we'll be on the lookout for autocrats for Winter Kingdom, so that we don't wait until December to start that. That'd be great.
Last thing on my list is about the Cornettes.
So next year is North Keep's 30th year anniversary from the day we stepped up as Barony. While still very beautiful and still very wearable, these are the original cornets. The only other option that Jeffrey and I have to wear must be worn on hats because they are large and heavy. And so we would like to propose a new set of cornets for the Barony of North Keep for the first time since Ian and Colander. To that end, we need to ask you guys if there are design elements that you want to see on our cornets. Besides the obvious, it needs to scream North Keep, right? That's important.
Like actually gonna yell. Right? Like
If I push a button,
Right.
a speaker in the back, yeah, exactly that.
Viva North Keep. Viva North Keep.
Brick! Brick!
Oh,
Brick!
oh, I know. Brick. And you push the button on yours and it says house.
That's it. That's what we'll do. Right. So, in order to give an artisan enough time to build us some cornets, I would like to pose to the populace to give us some thought over the course of the next few weeks, meaning between now and next populace. If there are things that you would like that you don't see perhaps in these cornets,
Pardon me.
or that you think would be ideal for you. I can't guarantee you that we're going to meet everybody's wants, right? But I want your input. I want to hear what you guys think we should include so that we can put together some designs and say, what do y'all, this is, right? I have what I want to do, but it's not me. It's y'all.
How
So
do you expand those things?
how do you expand these?
Well, or shrink them or something. They don't look very.
You change the plate in the
You change
back.
the plate in the back.
Oh, okay.
You make it a different length.
Yep.
And
we all have our own.
Yeah, the brass ones don't have that.
no,
They're
they're
just
doggy
brass.
color. I can
Um,
barely wear the
small
Baroness's cornet is a tick smaller, if I remember right,
Mm-hmm.
than the
So the neck.
Baron's cornet. I can barely wear it with a coif.
And he has a 24-inch noggin.
I do have a 24.
I have a 22-inch noggin.
Yeah,
So-
the big one would just.
Yeah.
It's a dog collar on me.
Yeah. They're
Unfortunately,
beautiful,
it
don't get
won't-
me wrong.
And they won't fit on our Elizabethan hats, which is why we had the leather ones made. So,
And the leather ones are identical in design to the brass ones.
as much as we could.
And I need everybody to understand this came out of our pocket, not out of the baronial coffers, and that's why we didn't ask about design elements for those. These new metal ones will, however, come out of the baronial coffers. I do not have a cost yet. I can't get a cost until we have some artwork to give an artisan. So again, I have been digging through cornets going, ooh, I like that, I like that, I like that, I like that. One of the things that is important to me
We're gonna do
is I want the more bowl shapes and not the straight up and down cornet. I just think they're cooler, but that's just my opinion. If that's not what y'all think or not what y'all like, I need to hear that.
What do the berries mean that are on the top of some of them?
The
What's that?
pearls on the top of a cornet or these, or these guys.
Some of the ones I've seen have like a ball or a berry that sticks on top.
Mhm.
I like that. I
So
like those.
in SCA speak, those are pearls, whether they're pearls or not, they're called pearls. And a baronial cornet can have up to 6 of them, sometimes 12. There's specific numbers according to sumptuary law. Yes, like those.
Yes.
Clearly, these do not. It's not a required element, but it is an optional element. And it does, from a distance, make it more clear that it's a baronial hat and not a,
Just as a clip.
Or a crown.
or not a crown, or a, right.
Right.
So if those elements are important to you, clickety, send us an email so that I can compile a list and we can try to come up with some ideas. But preferably by July's Populace. And I will also, by July's Populace, try to figure out what that might look like in a cornet.
So are these current ones, those are not the baronial ones?
These are the leather ones that we wear with our Elizabethans. Don't belong to the barony. They belong to us. We will donate them to the barony. That is our plan. We can't wear them after we step down, so it doesn't, but we did not need to ask the barony's permission because it wasn't baronial funds.
The barony currently owns 2 sets of cornets. Those and then
The big brass.
Big brass.
The big thick brass ones, right?
Big
And
brass
these
ring.
these were made by Master Bjorlick and Master Einar. When Bjorlick and Elizabeth stepped up, they did dismantle them all the way down, clean them all the way, and put them all back together. So they have been taken care of. That's not an issue.
They're
We-
really hard for newcomers to recognize as baronial cornets.
I think you need pretty ones.
There's not a lot here that screams North Keep except for the red, black, and white, and there are lots of groups that are red, black, and white.
That did not sound very nice, but I think some of the others that I see are much prettier.
But 30 years ago, this was
it.
hot stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like we should have unicorns and stuff.
no. I'm gonna shut the unicorns down right now.
No.
So for people who don't jump in that world very often, where do we go to go look at categories and catalogs to see these are types, these are aspects of it, like
I will post a Flickr account to the North Keep page. It may not happen for a couple days. A little bit going on.
The private page? Is that the page you're on with the private one?
I will post it where North Keep can get to it.
Okay.
Master Allen of Darkdale has compiled a stack of different cornets across the known world. And some of them are baronial and some of them are kingdom. And the biggest way to tell the difference is kingdom is taller, usually a lot taller, except for on state water.
Really?
Uh-huh.
except for the Ugos.
Yeah, the Ugos are pretty damn tall.
Well, but everything
see-
else isn't.
We should ask him for a bid.
Aspects
Uh,
to it.
Yeah.
What they were.
Keeps with a little light in the people.
Maybe
Motel 6, we'll keep the light on for you.
Motel 6.5. We'll keep
We
the light
passed
on
that.
for
We
you.
passed that all the way to Gulf Force.
Yeah,
Could we
Motel
have
6.5.
We absolutely
I
can
mean,
have
like-
keeps.
Like, have little, like some
Oh,
of them have those.
Oh, yeah,
tower-
I definitely want a tower on it.
Or whatever you, like his, thing in the.
Like
middle.
him's doohickey, yes.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, a lot of it's gonna be.
The only thing is
looking at
you
everything
can't
else.
do those so they would look like they're in battle because
Yeah.
now we have difference.
Right, that's county.
Yeah, okay, someone has to put that in English then.
The towers can't stand up above the main.
That can go above the band.
Oh, they can't be
Because
like,
that's a
I'm a
different-
Yeah.
tower.
It's a
and this
different
is the
design
band.
for
Oh.
someone else.
Yeah, the tower would have to be here. It couldn't be up here.
If it's above,
Little
then it
keeps is
could be
pearl.
considered ventilation.
Okay,
And that's what I was asking
I have
about.
seen
It's
that.
like, I know their rules, I don't know them. And
that sounded really.
So that's why I said, just send me your ideas and I will take whatever ideas that you have and I will morph them into something that could pass sumptuary laws.
Some
that's Yeah. I also have submitted a heraldic device that is the red background and the white psalter with black tower in the middle. And the white psalter is cotised, which means it has a very thin white line outside of the psalter so that we can have the red background, white X, black tower as a Populace badge.
What's a salter?
The X, the white X that's in the North Keep Arms.
Here, take a look at that.
I'm looking around going, what have I got?
Oh,
Yes,
got it.
the white X. So cotised means that you're gonna see that little X, but outside of each piece is a thin white line.
You wouldn't have
Ah,
royalty or the stars, but basically this is.
got it. So it'll be outlined with another.
With a thin white line disconnected from that white X.
What would be the purpose of that now that I understand?
So, the device that you pointed out on, that John of York is wearing, which is the 10-pointed star voided that's red with a tower in the middle, is our official current Populace badge. It's beautiful. We're not discontinuing that. I need to throw that out there. We're not discontinuing that.
What's
It
that?
is very difficult to draw. It is very difficult to applique on things. It's beautiful. We are not turning that off. We are adding to it. Because for the past 30 or so years, people in North Keep have used the white psalter on a red background with a black tower in the middle as their I belong to North Keep. But we can't pass that because it actually belongs to somebody else. It's not different enough. So cotising it makes it different enough that it should pass.
Okay, glad we found it.
So, yeah, the Herald in me said we need this. And if y'all decide you don't want it as a Populace badge, that's fine. It'll still be registered to me. But I don't see that being a problem. And yeah. So I did want to throw that out there that is in flight already. I've already paid for it. It's going. So, North Keep's 30th year, we mentioned that briefly. Look for that to be happening in October of next year. Our 30th year is actually in November, but there's not a free weekend in November, and I don't want to do it in August, so October it is.
And we're planning on Will Rogers, right?
And we are
Planning on
planning
Will Rogers.
on Will Rogers for that. That was where
We're gonna do
we,
it up.
it's where we stood up. That's where we should be.
We would still have Castleton and Winter Kingdom, so what would this anniversary,
North Keep's 30th year.
what would it entail? How would it be?
It will not have Bronial championships. It will just be an event
Big
with all sorts of,
Homages.
we're not actually redoing the hunt. We've already talked about that.
Not doing the right.
There are pieces of it that are not copacetic any longer.
What's that?
The hunt, which
Oh,
is what we did
right.
when we stood up. But we will be doing different activities that will give a nod to not only North Keep of days gone by, but also the people
Yep.
of North Keep.
Like
Um,
we're planning on a Centurions only heavy tournament for the,
Wear a cloak or don't fight
well,
for Talana.
please bring your damn cloak.
Wear your cloak. Them's the rules.
And are we gonna do a feast and everything?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
certain that there will be a feast if we get a feast bid for it. If we don't, we'll have a food truck show up. I mean,
Barbecue.
there, I'm hoping that we'll do things like, I want to have a changeling revel. Come with somebody or not. Or your favorite fae, I don't care. But that's, I don't have all of the activities planned out. These are just the ideas that have come to me. I want to do,
Something about shoes.
I want to do something about shoes for Dermot. I want to do something about cooking for Keegan and Elizabeth. And, I just make your best cheese goo. I don't know.
I'll be
I
a
don't
judge
know.
in that
I
contest.
figured you would be. I don't know what that's going to look like yet. I don't know what the list of activities are going to be. I don't have that worked out. But it will not be baronial championships. It will not be people feeling that they have to be here. They have to be at all of the things. That's not the vibe I want for this event. There may be times where you have to pick which of two things you're going to do, but I'm okay with that. That's not new, right? But I want to have a wine shoot.
Oh, yeah.
I
A
mean,
wine shoot?
Shoot.
Oh,
Ulrich,
shoot.
shoot,
For,
archery
Archery prize shoot for the.
for Ulrich.
For Ulrich, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, little things. Just to,
Maybe a wine throw as well. No?
I was going to whine at you.
Oh,
Can there be a wine drink?
But anyway, know that that's coming. While we're talking about events, we've got a couple of people in our barony who have been putting their feet and tires to the road to try to find us some sites to put in some kingdom level bids for next year, including Summer Crown.
We've got some exciting news, and we just have to open up our coffers in order to make them happen.
uh-oh.
Oh,
A
just
lot
wait.
of coffers. So,
I just heard the exchequer go. "Rrr."
the look on her face was really good. So we have
Get
visited,
it voted on and send me a check.
we have visited several really nice hotels. Okay, the Renaissance, they were really nice to us. For 3/4 of a gymnasium, it will only be $25,000 for the day. We do not get.
What?
We do for our 25,000 a day.
No financial committee meeting required.
We do not get any extra space.
What?
We do not get any extra outside space. We're required to keep it all in that room.
25,000 or 2,500?
25,000. And we will have events on each side of us.
That's what it
So, now, if we want that other space at the Renaissance, it is only 9,000. But again, the same rules apply.
For one of the rooms.
So if,
I don't think we can get the kingdom to
wait,
go
I
for
ain't got
that.
there yet. Oh, we went to Stony Creek. Oh my God.
What? Stony Creek.
He is really good to go with because this is me. You cannot look in there and know there's people in there. No, we're gonna look. We're gonna look in there. Okay, well, let's just look a little bit. And so we
What and
looked.
where is Stony Creek?
Stony
Broken
Creek is in Broken Arrow,
Okay.
Bass Pro Shop.
close to the Bass Pro.
Okay.
We have been out there for demos many of time.
It is
Oh,
an amazing
the-
facility.
yeah.
I know a lot of groups that are on budgets that use them, and it is so amazing, the response we got. It was, don't call us, we'll call you when we're ready to do business with you.
Wow.
And we're like, but we would really like to, when could we call back? We'll call you eventually, but don't call us. Oh.
Which means they're not
can we get
looking
the
for.
name and number of the, no.
You're not hearing it.
Well, so she called today and she says, it sounds like you're in a meeting. I'm busy right this moment. She goes, okay, well, we'll call you another time. Click. I was like, what is that? What
Wow.
was your name?
That means we're not doing
we
business
don't
there.
do
Moving
business
on.
with nonprofits. That's what that
No,
means.
She doesn't even know we're nonprofit yet.
Oh, you should always tell them.
Now, we hadn't
We
gotten
hadn't
that.
gotten that far.
We hadn't gotten that. Now, we went to Wampa. I am so thrilled with Wampa. It's on the west side in the new River Arts District by the Fire Station 13. We have not visited there yet. I'm not sure we should bother, but I want you to know the quality of Wampa is absolutely amazing. They're even willing to let us use the entire inside of their facility and the entire outside of their facility. And the price compared to the others was not bad. There's a few
It's only
hiccups.
10 grand.
There are residents, no, it's not. There are residents that live on site. And they come and go, and they're there no matter what the events are, so they would come and go and potentially be looking at you during your events or sitting there doing their
Oh,
thing.
that's a problem right
Because
there.
they rent, it'd be $5,800. And it doesn't have a kitchen, but it has a catering room, and it has a bar area. And the area that you would fight inside would be this big, maybe, the whole thing.
I found the drive.
So
It's
people
not big
can sort of look in and go, oh, they're fighting, but, I mean, you get art exhibits, you get a demonstration kitchen, you get a coffee bar, you get,
So no real kitchen, just a demonstration kitchen.
There's,
it's a beautiful facility.
So not a site for us because it's not big enough. Got it.
Yeah.
It's a wedding.
I mean, it is
Yeah.
a beautiful facility. If you are looking for, if we could figure out the space, they would absolutely work with us in any way they could to even bring us in one time and consider our budget. But they're converting old warehouse areas into art areas and lofts over in that destitute area of town. And it's fantastic.
It
But-
is what they're doing, but you have to drive to the destitute area of town to get there.
You do,
And
and that, and
fun.
I told them, I said, I'm not sure my people are gonna be there. And they said they would work with us. Every other one that was so expensive charges half again as much to come in and decorate. We went to the Creek, Fairgrounds,
Hmm?
Creek.
Oh, Creek County? All right,
Yes.
Sure, yeah.
They have a room that is not the front room because it's election day. And then there's the arena, and then there's this other
A
big
small
giant
commercial building.
room with its own little kitchen.
Uh-huh.
That would be $750.
Uh-huh.
I knew you'd like that price.
The problem, we've had a crown attorney there before, because I
Hang on,
autocrated it.
Jeffrey. She's talking about the small commercial building. Let her
Oh, I'm
finish.
sorry.
And it would be it'd be $1,125 by the time we got to.
For all three buildings?
No,
we
for
don't
the
forget
small
one,
commercial
the big
building
one.
because we want to come in early and decorate.
And we'd be
Oh.
$1,125 so we could come in and decorate. And it should be noted, we can't have the other buildings, period. They're not available because it's absentee elections. So we have to park down after the,
Arena.
yes. Now, we do, when we look back there behind the curtains where they stored the tables,
chairs.
once we took out the table and chairs, we think there'd be enough space to situate the extra tables and chairs to make room for the king and queen area and the silent people area. Silent,
The quiet room.
that's the words. And then we'd have to put the kids somewhere in the main room. We think that we could make it work. It's big, it's open, it's got air conditioning. They're willing to put some picnic tables outside for us. It is completely and ultimately dry. They wanted to make that very, very clear.
Yes, we are aware. We have rented from them before.
So far, every other place we have contacted has been booked. We are reaching out to Shawnee and anywhere in the Shawnee area. We have reached out to several other places in Tulsa. One place we talked to said we can have 250 people standing. I don't know what that means. But she
We can
said,
still do the wave.
But we have to bring our own chairs?
no, they can only fit 200. They
The
said,
space is not big enough.
that's what I
That's what she's
said.
trying to say.
She said, we have 200, we book it for 250 people standing.
Right, yeah,
I
it's
don't know
fire
what that
code.
means.
That's maximum occupancy.
And I was like, well, we need like at least the space of a dance floor to fight, plus 250 people to watch them. And she went, oh, I don't know if they could move.
So it's not big enough, okay.
So,
Like
we did find the hangar.
we're back at the church.
That's in Muskogee, which I understand is about 1,200. You did not want to go that direction.
You're correct.
We did talk to the Tahlequah. The Armory is no longer available for rental in any way, shape, or form. It has been
Wow.
sold by the city of Tahlequah to the school district. So it is no longer available in any way, shape, or form. We did not reach out to the church because we know what that one runs. We are not done. We were actually going to sit down and just start calling churches and seeing what places they have. We called some other places that y'all have said you used in the past. Most of them were unavailable during that time next year. So that's what we have.
So my question on the Armory, why not get a hold of the school district?
It's not available for rent anymore.
School just doesn't run it.
99% of school districts won't rent their facilities. Mainly because they can't guarantee what people are bringing in and have to protect their students from it. At least that's what we have found in our years of trying to.
With schools, you're gonna have the same thing that we have with most of the churches. which
Right.
is
Still gonna have the alcohol
absolutely
problem.
dry site.
And
And the only way, I mean, there are some private schools that may let you pass that, and there are some charter schools that may let you pass that, but it'll be hard pressed.
I did talk to this one place, the guy next to the, where we fight.
Okay?
Mhm.
The convention center, what used to be the Bowman Twin? Yeah.
Bowman, yes. And I did talk to them on the phone because I was
Oh, wow,
told
they
there
called
was
you. Good deal.
more sites than that, than what I saw when I went in for the event. However, when I talked to them on the phone, they told me that was truly the site. So there's not more that I didn't see, which you had told me that. But since I figured it couldn't hurt to ask, since I was told there was more, it didn't hurt to
It
have
never
them
hurts
tell
to
me
ask.
that was truly all there was, which I sort of knew, but I had my fingers crossed. So we were gonna get on the phone and call Shawnee and talk to their convention center, and then whatever was around there, and then move back this way with event centers and churches, and just flat out ask them, did they rent and what do they rent to? We checked in Broken Arrow with a couple of churches.
But also if you start with, hey, we're a nonprofit looking for a place to have an event,
Okay,
you might get response, then do you rent your facility?
it gave hurt. But I thought you'd go for the 9,000, I really did.
I
especially
mean,
when
it's not my money.
When
It's not, I mean.
when they had the Crown tournament at that hockey rink,
$2,500.
2,500. So at least we know that Kingdom will go. with
But
that
when they
much.
did Kingdom Middle Eastern Dance and Music Symposium in a hotel, it was a $10,000 site fee. But it was Known World.
Known
It was
World, yeah, that was.
Not Kingdom, yeah.
And we even called the VFW and they said they were absolutely booked and they weren't sure that they could handle that number of people.
Yeah.
So,
There was a space at Rogers State, in Claremore, I think it was Rogers State University, and I had been looking for it as a site like a few years back, so it might be completely different, but the price wasn't horrible. The worst thing about it was that we had to get anything from that facility, like any water, like the water and supplies. We had
Airport
to
kind of thing.
order them from that. So also with these hotels and convention centers, you have to watch out for what you're allowed to do.
now Cicely brought up something she asked me to share with y'all because they checked out Muskogee and they have a list that she's supposed to give me of every place that's available to rent in Muskogee. And she said this was at least a year ago that they compiled it, and that Muskogee is offering grants, or I'm not sure that's the right word, for people to come and have events there. I'm not sure if y'all are aware of that.
Tourism. I think they're tourism department.
And,
We spend money when we go to events.
and so I didn't know if that's something we would try to, if we'd be
Possibly.
interested in looking at.
I am not opposed to going east. We will have better attendance if we
And
go west or south.
And that's what we told her when we talked to her today. Because we had lunch with her when she was in town.
Yeah.
And she said, well, I know you don't want to go to Muskogee. And I said, it's nothing personal. We're looking to have the most draw of people, which would be, oh, and is Oklahoma City south?
Yes.
See, it is
Southwest.
south. Yes.
He did say, he did put the west in there.
He doesn't matter. She rules.
I'm
gonna
gonna
remember
say
you
no, I
said that.
don't. I do not do this alone. Let me throw that out there. I would not be the Baroness I am.
Right,
Without him
Not be the
beside me.
Baron I am.
While we were driving around, one idea that hit in my mind was I saw lots of empty warehouses. And I don't know how we might be able to contact, if there's some kind of contact in various areas that might know those kind of spaces. And right after I had that thought, I was like, City of Faith has got lots of empty floors. And those would be air conditioned and they would have bathrooms on each
It's
floor.
the tower I used to work in. It's also where the Eastern Oklahoma Osteopathic
Down that way.
Hospital is.
And I don't know if those kind of places might be, places, because we can be somewhat primitive at times. And having indoor.
I mean, if you want a good laugh, I think it's Ethelmark has a fighter practice in an abandoned mall.
Oh, yeah.
Adult Swim.
The Muskogee Mall is a big one, but I know that that's.
So is Promenade.
Oh, yeah.
The Adult Swim?
I forgot that Promenade's big.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with the damage that recently happened at Promenade, they may be looking to make some money. They have some storm damage. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, Ada had some storm damage. We saw storm damage everywhere when we were in town. I mean, nothing huge, fences down, restaurant signs missing plastic or,
Jahan mentioned
Signage.
the concept of Rogers State. Also consider NSU, Broken Arrow, I've not talked to the colleges. Langston's got a location here. I don't know what kind of facilities they have available. I don't know if they would have anything that would suit us. I mean, I'm not opposed to Tulsa Community College either, if they've got a space that's, not a lecture hall. So I don't know what they would have available. I don't know what they would rent. I don't know.
And so far, we haven't had much luck other than the conventions, the conference, whatever, the fairground.
Right.
That's about, as far as for indoors. We even checked with friends who had, car collections to see if they would rent out their warehouses they store their cars in. We got a resounding
No.
no. Would I have to move my cars out? Yes. They were like, no. It was worth a shot. It was worth a
Yeah.
shot.
And Tulsa County Fairgrounds is just too expensive. It's just too expensive.
Yeah.
And
they
you want to
require-
talk about a place that's got all sorts of you can't do this rules.
And they require renting their people,
Mhm.
Yeah.
catering, and
Gate.
security, and gate.
So, but like I said, we were gonna call some churches and basically call the churches and say,
I still think we should look at the Union Multi
that was.
Activity Center, the UMAC. I don't know what it costs. If you need somebody that's an alumna from Union, hit a girl up.
Also, restaurants. Don't they have an indoor facility?
It's not big.
I don't know if it's big enough.
There is a, it's not big enough to hold.
I don't think the German Historical Society is big enough either.
And we went through the whole Broken Arrow area, because they listed, like downtown Broken Arrow, that they had facilities, but what they really had was more of a conference facilities.
Or a wedding venue, yeah.
Yeah, not, places for us.
I mean, I know a guy that does a couple of theaters, but theaters are not big enough.
Yeah.
Just curious, like, yeah, but
Can you imagine all the fighting on the stage?
I'm like,
Yeah.
Joe would love to that way.
He is, but,
The spectators would be all on one side.
get all the movie lights going.
Callanteer did a crown on a stage and everybody sat in the audience and it was cool.
I mean, you know, if we knew a guy.
Yeah,
I know.
schedule with his boss. But
It is almost 10 minutes till 8. Does anybody else have anything that we want to talk about? Yes, Perrin?
I do. Hi, I'm Perrin. Mark your calendars for August 24th, Saturday, August 24th. That will be, it's Maker's Fair. We are putting in an application to do that once again. For those who don't know, it's a con here in Tulsa that's based on mainly for makers, a lot of 3D printing, a lot of robotics, a lot of that sort of things. But we have been with them for a few years. Since they started Maker's Fair, and they really love the juxtaposition of us being able to show handcraft works first, onto that way, like everybody is there. It's a non-fighting event. It's an event that actually our makers get to showcase their stuff, which I thought was super cool.
Yep.
And so I'll be kind of spearheading that and putting out organizing how we can get all that stuff going. Okay.
I'm gonna ask, oh gosh, what's his name? The one who brought his
Call him.
homemade, yeah, call him, not to bring his meat this year.
Oh, yeah.
You
Hey,
smell
we'll
this?
smell it. Can't drink it. We gonna smell it? That's all he did that day. Fine, go then. Okay,
You're fine.
All right,
He's
we'll
just
see you
giving you
later.
our time.
bye. But, yeah, that was, I don't know what happened to the little rapier
Oh, I know. We got
with the
I have
balloons.
them.
Oh, you have it? You have it?
They're on the shoving unit.
Okay. Oh, okay.
We just need to buy some more balloons.
Yeah.
You know,
I need balloons that,
Will
when they're only
pop.
this full are taut enough
oh,
to
then you
pop.
need to buy balloons.
Because I don't need balloons that get this big. I need balloons that max out at about that big.
We just go to the Dollar Tree and buy cheap.
Hey, my
balloons.
balloons are good
Water
balloons.
balloons.
Yeah.
Put water in them.
Oh, boy, that leaves a,
That's a mess.
You better
I'm not
win.
keeping that.
you're going to win or you're going to get
Do
wet.
it outside. Like, that could be
We'll
outside.
just put it in the
That could be
kiddie.
an
We'll
outside
just
thing.
put it on the kiddie pool.
Right. I'm just saying like that. It's not for that. That could be an outside, fun outside game.
We've also had people get injured playing it because they're not keeping their thumbs behind the,
Yeah, they get stabbed.
and they get the,
Children.
Their opponents were overextending their lunge,
To be fair,
as it were.
I've gotten my thumbs hurt when I overextend as well, and I don't guard them correctly. So it's
right,
it's a
but
big
if we're playing this with sharp things with people who are not SCAers, who have not signed our waiver, we need to be a little more cautious, is what I'm trying to say.
It's a weapon.
If I get hurt, I'm okay.
Yes.
Sign here.
Sorry.
We will provide a Band-Aid. Yeah, Maker's Fair has always been a lot of fun.
It was fun last year. I remember I was a shiny brand new
That
bear.
was so fun last year.
And this guy walked around and escorted me around the site in armor. That was pretty cool. I enjoyed that.
It's the best part of a con. Walking in there, real armor. They go, wait, it's not real.
Yes. Well, yes, it is. It's way more real than the stormtroopers next door.
Oh, jeez.
I love those pictures though with us though. Like I've got.
They're hilarious.
Me and Darth Vader.
The
sword riding.
juxtaposition is glorious.
It's good times.
Anybody have anything else?
Pecan says for the back to the 30th year, at the 10th year there was a 10-course feast, so we should have a 30-course feast. 30 minutes.
It'll start on
I'm
Wednesday.
just telling you.
We'll be done on
I wanna
Sunday.
make sure that he gets all. I want to make sure that Master Pecan gets all the credits for that.
As long as Master Fracon is the feastocrat,
Yeah.
we'll talk. All right,
Course number 7,
Oh.
Chiefs.
John's up.
The only thing I have is round table. Make sure if you're gonna be warranted or be an officer, make sure you do it. I know missile will have its own hour since there's a lot of stuff going on. What's going on with it? What's going on with missile?
Who knows? Give them a
With
period, look what happens.
with our seneschal not here, I do want to give a shout out. We do have some officer positions open in the barony, and we have some other positions coming open soon. So for those of you that are listening and those of you that are in the room, if you're interested in being an officer in the barony, by all means, let's chat. Let's talk with the people that are already in that position or have served in those positions before, so that we can. Yes.
Yeah.
Several.
Sorry. I didn't
We're
mean
just going to say several.
Okay, several.
They're on the website.
See,
Thank you.
because our web minister knows.
Yes.
It keeps up to date.
As much as I can.
As much as people will tell her.
Yes, exactly.
Right. All right. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and shut this meeting down. Woo-hoo. Bye.
Thank you for coming, everyone. All right, this is a hot day. But,
Bye.
we got good
I
conditioning.
can't find a camera. Bye.
Thank you for coming. Sam, thank you for coming.